So now we come to the system. What is system? As you have studied in thermodynamics, system means whatever the things that you are going to study. Okay, so your focused thing is known as your system. Okay, if you talk about the surrounding, I mean, I'm just taking the sense as a thermodynamics point of view. So as in thermodynamics, as I hope that you have read over there. So system means the things that you are basically focusing on to do your study. Okay, what is the things that are in your observation is known as your system. Okay, and rest all things will known as your surroundings. Okay, so as you can see think about in material science, whatever the solids, whatever the materials in the form of either in the liquid form of gaseous form, or solid forms, or the combination of these two. Okay, or a combination of all three that you are focusing on, that is known as your system. Okay, so basically the system is just simply that you are focusing on. Okay, so let me study and let me read it. So a system is explained. So a system is explained as a whole complex phase, one or several. Obviously, if you are studying only on the one phase, then it could also be a system. And if you are having the multi phases, okay, like a two-phase system in thermodynamics. So two-phase system means you are having the liquid and gas as well. If you talk about the solid system in material science, where you are having the liquid and solid both together, that is known as your two-phase systems. Okay, at a different pressure and compositions. Okay, so the pressure, either you can keep the constant temperature, or either you can keep the constant pressure, and then you can vary your temperature accordingly. Then you would have the different compositions. So I mean, you are basically having three different parameters. Okay, so first one is your temperature, second one is your pressure, and third one is your compositions. Okay, so I mean, you cannot draw a diagram with three variables. So what you need to, I mean, because as we know that we have two kind of axes, x here and y here, right? So you are having x and y. Okay, and you cannot draw the three parameters together in 2D system. Okay, as we draw in our uh, you know a system on our worksheet. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to fix one thing at least. If either you can fix the pressure, or you can fix the composition, or either you can fix the temperature, then you can vary, you can see the observation. As in thermodynamics, what we do, we mostly fix the compositions. Okay, so once you fix the composition, then you are having two parameters which you can vary, which is the temperature and pressure. Okay, but in this case, in material science, what we are going to do, we are basically focusing on the composition, how they are behaving and how they are basically changing with the temperature. So what we will do, either we can keep the temperature constant or pressure constant. Okay, so it may be composed of solids, liquid, gases, or their combinations, and maybe and may have the metals and non-metals separately or in a combinations. It is so isolated from the surrounding that is unaffected by these and is subjected to the change in overall compositions, temperature, pressure, or total volume only extent allowed by the investigator. I mean, you know what is system, what is surrounding, temperature, pressure, and total volume. I mean, obvious. If we think about whatever the kind of the changes, the phase changes is happening, the total volume could change. No, I mean the total volume of that material would be the same. Yes, if they are having the same phase, but if the phase is going to change, okay, if phase is going to change, the volume will change it, because solid contains very less volume, liquid contains more than that volume, and if you talk about the gases, then gases occupy the more volume. So volume will automatically will change if your phase is going to be changed.